product that I'm adding to my 3-gun setup. This is the Nordic Components AR-15 Magpul PMAG extension. This is going to add an additional 18 rounds to a standard 30-round PMAG. It should snap on in just a couple minutes with a couple of retention Allen head screws. Let's put this on. Let's see how fast this goes. The first thing you'll need to do is to remove the base plate from your standard PMAG by depressing the retaining tab on the bottom and sliding the base plate to the front. Then you can remove the standard spring and remove the follower from the top end of it, and also the other plastic tab on the bottom. You'll save this spring. You won't need it, but it's always good to have just in case. The next thing is you'll need to go and bevel or file down the edges, the inside edges of your standard PMAG, which Nordic recommends. I used a small metal file, but you can use sandpaper, just to aid in the transition of the rounds and the magazine spring from the extension to the PMAG body. Next, install your follower that came with your PMAG onto the supplied Nordic spring, which is longer than your standard spring. And the most difficult part of this being to get the small loop of the upper end of the spring to go through the little retaining tab in the follower. I actually needed to use a pair of pliers to get it to go in because it's pretty difficult just with your hands only. Once you get that in and it's oriented in the correct position so that the follower is into the magazine body in the correct position, then you can start to put the follower and the spring back into your standard magazine body and start installing the extension onto the top of the PMAG. Now it comes in 2 halves, and they'll just sort of snap together, and then you'll use 4 small Allen head retaining screws to secure it down into position. And Nordic sends you 5 screws actually. You have an extra because they're pretty small, and they also send you a small Allen wrench to aid you in securing these screws. Once you're all done with those, and you don't need to particularly over tighten them, just get them, finger tight. Then you can compress the spring and replace your standard PMAG floor plate back onto the bottom of the magazine, and this extension is completely installed. This will hold 47 or 48 rounds. I was able to get 48 into mine, and it actually helped my base plate to seat better when I installed it.
And that is the Nordic Components 18-round extension for Magpul PMAGs. This is the black one. It also comes in clear so that you can see through and see your rounds. One small modification required, or not necessarily required, but recommended to your PMAG is that you bevel out the inside lips, as I have read reports of rounds getting hung up inside the extensions as they try to go from the extension to the standard PMAG body. So I went ahead and did that. It was easy. This was less than 5 minutes, and now I have a 48 round magazine that can get me probably almost through an entire stage without requiring any magazine changes and reloads. So check this out. Can't wait to get out and try it in the next 3 gun.